Hello, my name is Christine, and I run a vintage shop called Prima Treasures on Etsy. Today I wanted to bring you something a little different, and what we have here is to show a concept called Figural. So there's 3 of these items here, and each of them has a decorative element and a functional element. And that's kind of what Figural means, is that you have an everyday object, but you've made some decorative aspect of it, and that's why it's called Figural. So the first thing I want to talk about was this goblet that has the wizard sculpture as a stem, and the top of it obviously functional because you can use it to drink out of, and the bottom of it highly decorative because it essentially has a sculpture of a wizard as the stem. So this would be considered figural. And then the second thing that we have here is a sword that also serves as a letter opener. So again, you're combining a functional element with a decorative element. So someone seeing this on your desk would think it's a sword, but it's way more interesting than a regular letter opener. And then the third item I have here is a brushed gold cat with nice bright green eyes made out of stones. And, you know, got the ears, got the whiskers, so pretty much looks like a cat. But when you turn it around, you can see that it's a coin bank. So again, that makes it a functional piece, not just a decorative piece. And I realized that coin banks now are not super useful, but when this was made in the 60s or the 70s, it would have been a viable functional piece. So essentially, these 3 items illustrate the idea of figural. I'll post a few more photos at the end of the video so you can see a few other items that would also be considered figural and help give you a more general overview idea of what figural is and what it applies to. But let's say you were going to an estate sale and you saw 1 or 2 items like this. It's always a good idea, if you have any real desire or need to have something of that type. If you see a figural version, by all means, take it with you. And the reason for that is that figural tends to have higher value than just plain. So in this example here, a pewter goblet would probably sell for $10, $20 if it were just plain, not really decorative at all. Whereas this goblet, you could easily get $50, $75, maybe even $100 for it. So you can see the value change drastically between the plain version and the decorative figural version. And it would be the same for this letter opener. You'd probably pay between $1 and $5 for a letter opener, but because it has the decorative element to it, you could probably get 10, 15, 20, maybe even 25 for the same item. So you can see that, again, the value goes up quite a bit just based on the decorative aspect of this item versus the plain version. So I think that pretty well covers figural, and I hope you learned something today, and I appreciate you watching.